everyone, it's Madison Gesiotto. So President Trump has officially signed this huge spending bill. There's many questions out there about exactly what's in it, where the money's going. People are frustrated, they're confused. So I'm trying to clear some of that up for you guys today. Starting, of course, with the fact that only $1.4 trillion of this $2.3 trillion package goes to the omnibus spending bill, which consists of 12 separate bills to fund the government through fiscal year 2021. And then the other $900 billion that we've been talking about over the past couple weeks goes directly to that COVID-19 relief package, which should be, of course, an extension of the earlier relief package from March. In total, the bills combined are 5,593 pages. And were only released a few hours before Congress was set to vote on them. Of course, they passed that on December 21st. The president's now signed it. Some people are very unhappy, talking about the wasteful items that are included. And of course, people are going back and forth saying, oh, well, it's in this half of the bill or it's in that half of the bill. And I don't think, honestly, guys, that it really matters if it's in the omnibus spending bill or the COVID-19 relief package. The fact is that it's being passed, we're paying for it, and people aren't happy about it. Congress's approval rating still sitting at around 20%. And pretty much what the president said when signing is, I'm going to sign the omnibus and COVID package with a strong message that makes clear to Congress that wasteful items need to be removed. He sent them a red line version. Of course, this is just suggestions of what they should do when he signed that. But the president isn't joking. There's a lot of wasteful spending. It's something that many of us have been talking about for years, long before President Trump was in office. Congress spends very different than the way they would spend their own money, of course, when they're spending our money, and people are pretty frustrated. We saw many complaints following the earlier COVID-19 relief package in March in regards to where the money went, with over 20-some million going to the Kennedy Center and other ventures as well. But this omnibus spending bill contains quite a bit of wasteful spending and a lot of spending that I don't think, frankly, we can afford. Starting with, of course, $1.3 billion in assistance to Europe, $40 million to the Kennedy Center, which isn't even open as a result of COVID-19. So that's an interesting one. $10 million to gender programs in Pakistan. This has been floating around on the internet and is actually not a joke. This one's real. $86 million to Cambodia, $130 million to Nepal, $453 million to Ukraine, $135 million to Burma, $1 billion to museums like the Smithsonian. Of course, museums being very important, but not necessarily $1 billion needed in the spending bill going to them. So you continue to see a trend on what's being included in these bills over and over again by the Congress people who are making a great amount of money to sit there and take 9 months to make these bills. They're always late. Nothing's ever right. It's pretty frustrating to the American people, of course. And one thing they tend to do, which I think Joe Concha wrote about in his recent article in The Hill, is one of the oldest tricks in the book, and that's when they include every pet project that wouldn't probably be passed on their own onto something that has a large amount of support by the American people, something like COVID-19. So with COVID-19 funding being attached basically to the omnibus spending bill, it's very difficult for people and the general public to oppose this, right? And many people, of course, don't know what's in it, including the Congress people themselves, considering I doubt many of them read the 5,500-page bill. It would be almost impossible with the short time frame to read that bill. Some of them only, receiving it shortly before. There was not enough time. Rand Paul talked about this. He's right. We should not be passing things that we don't even know what's in them. It was kind of like Obamacare. We said you got to pass it first to see what's in it. It's not acceptable, and so we need to keep an eye on this moving forward on the wasteful spending, because this isn't the only time we've seen it happen. It won't be the last time we've seen it. We will see it happen, and we can't accept it. We can't simply sit back and say, oh, well, it's just a part of politics. It's just a part of doing business in Washington, because it shouldn't be. And we can't afford this as a country. So keep an eye on this as we move forward through 2021.